So my name is Haylee. I'm one of the counsellors at Monash University Counselling Service. I'm a psychologist. I work at Clayton campus and I've been with Monash since 2019. I'm really passionate about working with university students. So I started out studying Bachelor of Arts where I majored in psychology and ancient world studies. Then I went on to do my master's in psychology and then a master of clinical psychology. And the master's is where you learn your clinical skills and you do your placement and start training as a psychologist. So it's about 6 years of training all up. I've always been really interested in listening to people's stories and just trying to understand their situation. I didn't really know anything about psychology until about year 10 when we had our first psychology class, and I just fell in love with it. So I really enjoyed learning about a bit about the brain, why people act the way they do, a bit about mental health conditions, and that's really where my passion started. And I just wanted to become a professional who could help people. So students come to counselling for a wide range of reasons, no issues too big or too small, but some of the most common things that my clients talk about are things like stress and anxiety, study-related stress, depression, mood difficulties, other things as well like relationship difficulties, and that can be any kind of relationship, adjustment and transition. So for example, moving out of home, starting university, living overseas. Other issues as well, sleep issues or self-esteem. And that's by no means a comprehensive or exhaustive list, but they're some of the most common things. All counselling sessions are completely free and confidential. They're safe for you to use. It doesn't go on your academic record and we won't be talking to your teachers or your parents. It's all confidential. There's only a few situations in which your information might be disclosed to someone else, and they are, for example, if psychologists like myself, if we're subpoenaed by courts in Australia, we have to give them whatever information they're asking for. Another instance is if we judge that you're someone else at serious immediate risk of harm and we need to tell someone to prevent that from happening, then we have to do so. And the last one is if we have your permission. So from time to time, you might request for us to talk to your GP or complete paperwork for you. We do as well ask you to nominate an emergency contact for your electronic file with us, but it's exactly that. It's an emergency contact. We very rarely contact them, only if it's an emergency. And you can nominate who that is. So it could be a friend or a family member, whoever you're comfortable with. So the first session of counselling is usually about getting just a general assessment of your situation. So for me, the first session is always about information gathering. So I want to get a good understanding of what brings the client to counselling, difficulties they might be going through. I want to learn a little bit about their life in general. And then by the end of the session, hopefully we come up with a plan for support going forward, whether that's we want more appointments after that appointment, whether there are other services in or outside of uni that might be helpful. And then if we decide to have a follow-up appointment, generally what we do is we figure out of everything we've talked about, where do we want to start? What's our focus? What are our goals? And we start working on them together. Basically, it's never too late to book an appointment, and we do encourage you to come early as well. So what we do know for mental health is that prevention and early intervention is the best thing for mental health. So what we encourage is that, the sooner and quicker you get help, the easier it is to get better. So please consider that. So it's really normal and really common to be nervous about counselling and not sure what to expect. So if you're considering counselling, I'd really encourage you to make an appointment, and there's no commitment to or expectation that you'll have lots of sessions. You can just go to one, see how you feel. Talk with that counsellor as well about what recommendations they might have, so you can work together to make an informed decision on whether maybe that one appointment was enough, whether you're wanting some more follow-up appointments. Everyone's different in what they need, how many sessions they have, And one of the advantages of seeing a university counsellor is we know a bit about different areas of the university. So if we think maybe some other services might also be helpful, we can link you in with, say, disability support service, safer community, learning advisors or student advocacy, even our GPs. We do encourage that once you see a counsellor, if you can, to stick with that counsellor, but it's also possible to change counsellors if needed as well. It can take a bit of time to find the right fit for you, so it's okay if you need to change counsellors. Yeah, I guess that's it. So the quickest and easiest way to book a counselling appointment is to call our reception number, which is 9905 3020. When you call this number, you'll be asked to nominate a specific campus, and then you'll be put through to that campus's reception team. Reception will then check if you're an existing or a new client of ours and create a client file for you and get some of your details. And then you can work with that receptionist to figure out a date and a time if there's a particular method of appointment that you'd like. So, face-to-face, Zoom, or a phone appointment. You can also request a particular gender of counsellor if you wish as well. And then after that, reception will email you some paperwork to fill out before your counselling appointment. One of them is our consent form, and the other one we call the counselling intake form. And basically it's just a form where you write a little bit to us about what you want to talk about in counselling. That gets sent to the counsellor, and they have that in the first appointment to help guide the conversation. So for more information about our counsellors, you can always visit the counselling website, and we do have a function where you can search presenting issue by a drop-down box, and that will highlight counsellors that help with those particular areas. And our counsellors also on their profiles specify whether they're a part of the LGBTIQA+ ally network and whether they speak languages other than English. At the counselling service, we have a team of social workers who offer counselling appointments to international students, and that's available to students whether you're in Australia or studying outside of Australia overseas. So if you want to have counselling through that pathway, please feel free to call our reception team and flag you're an international student, and they'll find you a time. Thank you so much for listening. It's been a pleasure, and if I don't speak to you, I just want to wish you all the best with your time at Monash, and take care. If you're thinking about having counselling, please feel free to reach out to us.